It's been confirmed. The new commanding officer at Chateau Cantona is Commandant Ziegler. He arrives in 4 days, yet his SS division are still in Poland. And so the castle and nearby village are protected by just one company of reserves. Chateau Cantona is considered somewhat of a holiday resort.
And your intel sources?
Mostly Mademoiselle Francine.
Well, not entirely.
Well, at least we know they're reliable. So, Captain Caldwell, Major Buckingham, what is the operational strategy?
Well, it won't be the easiest of jaunts, Charles. Whilst I do understand there are several reasons for choosing this picturesque destination, I can't help but feel there has been no consideration for practicality.
Consideration of practicality is precisely why we hire you two. But go on, John. Get it off your chest.
Well, mainly it's the bloody mountains. They tend to be rather high and make it somewhat rather awkward to traverse.
Won't you be in a plane?
Well, I will, yes, but Roger and Eva will plan on getting out at some points, I'm sure.
The issue is, sir, there's no landing location particularly close to the party. So either we jump out as close as we can, or we walk 15 miles.
And timing is everything. We need to enter the castle within 30 minutes of the commandant arriving to ensure we catch him in his quarters.
Which means landing in the dark, in the middle of a mountain range. I'm going to ditch the kite down there by the river and wait.
When did you become cautious, old boy?
After Tomo bought it, sir.
We can do a low-level drop near the lake, ascend the rear mountain path and access the castle here. It avoids any major checkpoints.
Be sure and pack your warm socks.
And my nice warm sten. We'll enter the castle here on the south side through the wine cellar. You'll have to forgive me, sir, if I don't find the time to pick you up any vintage plonk.
I expect it'll be mainly German plonk now anyway.
Maybe we should have done this mission in Scotland. Would have been just as cold, but at least I could have got some scotch.
Seeing as we won't be staying for the cocktail party anyway, once inside the cellar, we have access to the main house.
In terms of the interior of the castle and the confirmation of the commandant, I'm afraid we are reliant on intel from Lieutenant Dietrich here.
Yes, I was wondering why we had the SS represented at our little soiree, Charles. As well dressed as she is, that uniform is rather unnerving.
Well, sadly, I didn't have time to pack a change of clothes before escaping Munich in the middle of the night. I was in somewhat of a rush to bring you details of this mission I've been preparing for 2 years.
I do wonder about the timing of all this. Colonel Archer, I think we must...
Before you throw any doubt on this operation that, to my mind at least, you are in fact pitching to me, I want you all to know that it has been thoroughly researched, as have every single one of its members. However, John, I will concede. Perhaps we could have spent a moment in finding a more suitable outfit for the lieutenant. Now, shall we continue?
It won't take long for the commandant to be discovered. The alarms will be raised, then we have to move fast. And that quiet side exit won't be available.
And how exactly do you expect to fight your way out of the village if the alarm does get raised?
Because you're going to ask the goddamn U.S. Rangers to clear out any sauerkraut, son. Me and my boys will go on in there for you, Major, and clear that village of the Nazis quicker than my grandma sweep the flies off the back of her mule.
Ah, Captain Hills, you're late.
As usual.
Captain Hills.
Well, there. What a pleasure it is to meet you again.
Captain.
Well, then. I've got me some boys just itching for a fight. So, if Captain Caldwell here doesn't mind us itching a ride in his bird, well then, sir, I reckon we might just be the fellas to help the Major get his ass back to his little old blighty.
Well, Captain, never let it be said that the RAF doesn't offer the most punctual service, even if it's not the most luxurious conditions of travel.
That's fine by me, Skipper. My guys are so eager for a fight, they don't mind riding in that tin can of a plane, even if it's a rock polish overflight.
Insult to British aviation aside, this is a mission that requires a particular amount of stealth. So I suggest that we reserve the brute force for the very last moment.
Quite. If we can avoid the Germans knowing we are involved in this, it would be safer for all of us. Especially Lieutenant Dietrich.
Hey, it's your rodeo. But if a bit more brute force was used in the early doors, you wouldn't be in this mess.
Well, as you haven't been here for the first few years, you may have missed the fact that we have put up the toughest of fights against this evil regime. We have had to flee, we have lost our homes, but we have still put up a fight. Yet, we appreciate the sacrifice of our comrades and our friends.
Well, I'm sure once Captain Hill sees the sacrifices that we've all made, he'll appreciate our efforts, just as we appreciate his now, as we move forward in this war.
Well said. So, Captain Caldwell, if you can get us to Chateau Cantona, Major Buckingham, you can get us inside, and afterwards, Captain Hilt can ensure we can get out, then all that's left, Lieutenant Dietrich, is you.
I spent 8 months at the chateau. I know exactly where his quarters are and what he'll be doing after his arrival.
Say what you like about the goddamn Germans. They're sticklers for routine.
Well, perhaps we can take a leaf out of their books and make this mission run like clockwork.
You sound like a schoolmaster, Charles, you know that? You think there's anyone in this room that doesn't know exactly how bad a mission can go?
Here, have some scotch. We put some spirit in it.
I do enjoy a cheery disposition, old boy.
Regardless of how it may sound to you, John, I do believe that if we can stay focused and stick to the plan, we can be a success.
Is that what you said to Sergeant Gilks and F Company? Did Tomo stick to the plan?
John!
No, it's quite all right. Yes, actually, John, I did tell them to stick to the plan. But they lost focus. One doesn't like to speak ill of the dead, especially fallen comrades, but it's true. I told Gilks and Tomo to stick to the plan, but they knew better, and they paid for it with their lives, as did all of F Company, including my nephew.
I did hear, sir. I'm sorry.
Now, there's no need for that. We all know the risks. I'll admit, it's easier facing those risks behind a firm desk and a nice soft midriff, but I've faced those risks in the past, John. You know that. And you know that I have never been frivolous with either plans or the lives of brave young men. It's the bitter old ones, however, I feel less sympathy for.
Well, I've planned every element I can control at least. If the Major is able to get in, why take the risk that the Lieutenant may not be as trustworthy as we hope?
Well, firstly, we need to ensure it really is the Commandant, and not one of his lookalikes. With my personal and intimate knowledge of the Commandant's physical attributes, apart from his mother, I'm the only person who can verify it is him. But secondly, I have spent the last 8 years hiding who I am. Not just a double agent, but the fact my people have been persecuted and have been eradicated by an evil the likes this world has never seen means the chance that I won't follow through after all this time is not only small, but non-existent. This man, this cruel, evil man, will die. Then you just have to wait to see if the crowd betrays you.
Indeed.
Well, if that's everything, I reckon we get over to that shiny officer's pub and get ourselves a drink.
Well, finally, you say something that makes sense to me.